Creepers. Good morning, afternoon, or evening to you from HQ1. That's right, BK. Man, I am so thankful for these guys this morning because I didn't come prepared. First, I was digging for change, left everything at the Creeper Cave, changed out packs yesterday because it got wet. It's actually raining this morning, and couldn't get the app to open, which I had a couple free items on, and it's just now opening. But the nice people here were like, we don't have time for this, here's the coffee, you owe me. So I might be able to actually get the app open and square things away. But thank you so much for being so good to me always. But we're gonna do some creeping. There is a historic house I want to check out, which was one of Gresham's original store owners. That's right, a bakery. The bakery blocks, which still exists downtown Gresham, Main Street. We're going to go by the old historic house. I'm going to tell you more about an immigrant that came here to Gresham, Oregon way back in the day. One of the very first residents, doing some old Gresham today, and how he started a bakery with his wife. Stay tuned. Ah, it's so good. We got the rainy day start, but look who's creeping on us. When you creep on the creeper.
What's going on?
Cheers, bro.
Cheers.
HQ1. Calling my name. Oh, you got the good stuff. Look at you.
I'm waiting for my car. I woke up with a flat tire.
Oh, no.
So I just crept over to the market.
I know that. I know that. Oh, you're right there at the, you're right by the America's Tire or whatever. Nice, bro.
So crept over downtown, just did a little.
Nice.
Then I saw the cruiser over
You saw
here.
the Creeper Cruiser?
And then shortly after
Creeper
the cruiser
looking good.
I saw you.
You saw the big helmets,
right?
window.
Yeah. Well, I saw you coming out, and I was like, oh,
nice.
well, I can't see his bike and then not say hi.
Cheers, bro. You know
Cheers.
it. Love running into you, bro.
We're
always on the same path and wavelength when you're out running too.
I
saw you run by one morning.
I know.
Like, there he goes.
Well, I was watching the channel, and then all of a sudden, I see myself zipping by, and I was like, you never know.
Creeping on the creeper.
Just never know.
Good luck to your tire, bro. They'll get you lined up.
They're getting me lined up. Yeah, I see it out there right now.
One of the best commercials. It's actually, they said those guys were cool. They came by, gave me air for my tire one time, and they said, I love the commercial where the old lady throws the tire through the window, and they took it back. He said it's the longest running commercial, I think, in the United States or something like that. They've redone it through the years, but that old lady, bro, she wasn't playing.
Dude, if there's two iconic tire commercials, it's the "Where's the Beef" from Les Schwab, and then it's the lady throwing the tires.
Where's the Beef with Wendy's?
But
Les Schwab gave
away free beef.
Right?
That's right. Give away free beef
because it's a family tradition.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. Oh, Les Schwab, rest in peace. Gone too
Dude,
soon.
love seeing you.
Love seeing you.
Yeah,
too,
Les
bro.
Schwab, that's a good company too.
Yeah.
These guys will dial you in too.
Just
don't throw the tire through the window.
No, they've discount tires, creepers. You ever in need, anywhere you're at, these folks have treated me incredibly well. Every stop, every way.
They give me the creeper shout out when I come through.
Do they?
Once in a while, the guys at the bay and stuff. Good to see you this morning.
Good to see you too,
love
man.
you, bro.
Yeah, I love you.
All right, back in the creeper cave now. Because when I was talking with Ryan, my good buddy, who actually made us this for the creeper cave, love it. One of my favorite pieces, but it started pouring down rain, so we're going to switch out the Creeper Cruiser and the small umbrella for the big guns. That's right, old Trusty. Having to break old Trusty out, even though it's June and supposedly summer. But we're heading down to Main Street, Gresham, because I want to show you guys where the bakery blocks were. And also talk more about the significance and tie in to the historic house that is still standing. We'll creep by there as well. So yeah, we have to stay off the property. So this house that you are looking at now, right here on Division, is the home associated with Theodore, better known by the Gresham community as Ted, and his wife Ava Van Doninck, D-O-N-I-N-C-K. They were an important couple that participated in business in the civic enterprises that significantly contributed to the development of Gresham. And according to the 1920 census and a 1942 draft registration card, Theodore Van Doninck was born in 1886 in Antwerp, Belgium. He migrated to United States in 1910, and in 1916, Theodore purchased a downtown Gresham bakery at 331 North Main Avenue from Mustard and Specs. He renamed the business City Bakery and operated it from 1916 until 1939. However, the bakery operation was just the beginning for his enterprising interest in Gresham, Oregon. In 1920, Ted married Ava Hamlin, daughter of John and Annie Hamlin of Gresham, Oregon. Just 1 year after their marriage, Ted was seriously injured in a motorcycle that was struck by an automobile at Baseline Road, which is now Stark Street. Witnesses noticed that the impact hurled Ted 10 to 12 feet from the car. It is unclear how long it took him to recover. But in 1934, Ted began a long career of civic services when he became the president of the Fraternal Order of the Eagles during the dedication of the Gresham chapter's brand new era. Ted was also an active member of the Independent Order of Oddfellows, which in fact still exists today, and the Elk. Alright, just hoofed it down here to Main Street. Didn't do any filming on the way because it's raining pretty hard and didn't want to have to break out old Trusty and the camera all at once, but we are here. Main Street, always looking beautiful. Got my buddy Joe's Gresham Toy Store. And we are creeping down to 333 North Main, which I believe is just maybe 2 blocks down. An ode to Ted and Ava. We're going to go see the old bakery block building where he had that bakery for many years. Very prominent Gresham resident. Did a lot for the city in general. Did a lot to keep Gresham cooking and up and coming. And by cooking, I mean bread. That's right. The very first bakery. And I believe the building that sits here now actually has a little nod to that. We'll have to go up here and take a look. But we are now approaching 3rd Street. So I'm almost positive that that's the building that the bakery was in. Alright, as stated, 333. Both of these houses here are actually beautiful historic homes. So I'm not 100%. I guess it would have been 331. Okay, so 331 North Main Avenue would have been the home to, well, not the home, but, well, they are probably much here, just like any business owner, which becomes kind of a homestead. But this was the very first bakery owned and operated by Ted and Ava Doninck, which were immigrants, and they have kept all these places looking so dang beautiful over the years. In fact, I love this one because it's got that like birdhouse with all the birdies, which is now home to a Mexican restaurant. But this whole building here was the home to the very first bakery owned and operated by that couple. So we went by the house, and now you can still see where the bakery stood. And interesting fact, I believe either this building or this building here was actually the home to Fran's. There was like a bakery outlet here as well. I believe it was actually the same building as the original bakery to that family. But check this out, they've even dubbed this the Bakery Block Suites. So 333, and as stated, 331 would have been the actual bakery. So it still stands today, and a lot of prominent businesses probably wouldn't have made it if it wasn't for these guys kind of paving the way and all that for Gresham. Wow, I just find that to be so dang cool. And I love the fact that the city of Gresham has, kept and held on to all these historic properties. I mean, you just don't see woodwork like that on these old, I think they're like Victorian homes. We'll read more about the home structure, and I'll tell you guys more, because we didn't get to go really up to the property too close. I wanted to be respectful, you know, to the owners and stuff like that. But yeah, this is all brand new back in here as well. And they also said not too far from here, after Ted decided to change things up, he actually started a potato farm. And then years later, right before his death, he actually was the person that ran the You Pick Strawberries on 181st, which I think a lot of Gresham residents will probably remember seeing those big berry stands that him and his wife ran right up until they died. He was actually buried via Forest Lawn Cemetery, and I found articles for his obituary as well. But man, yeah, that is just so dang cool to me, that not only does the house, but the bakery still exists. And I just love these old properties through here. But yeah, that would have been the very first, I wouldn't say business in general, but definitely the first bakery. And so you got to give, you know, the homage to Ted and Ava for really paving the way for a lot of other businesses. And man, just to see the building, like I said, still existing, it's pretty dang neat. Both of these houses, really. But yeah, celebrating 120 years, City of Gresham really hanging on to that beautiful history. Love it. There's both properties from the opposite side of the street too. So I'm hoping to gain access to the front porch, like the property did say private property. But there is a placard on the porch, which I'll insert pictures of so you guys can get a better look at that. But I wanted to be respectful to the property. But where I was going with that is, if I do get clearance at some point from the City of Gresham, it'd be great to be able to, you know, get inside that old house as well. But there you have it, the bakery. I love that they put that sign there too. That is so cool. And right across the street is the Gresham Historical. The doors are open. I'm going to go in here real quick and see if they possibly have any pictures of when that was the bakery, or pretty much anything related to the family. These guys have a ton of cool stuff, and it's been a while. Alright, we're going to creep in here real quick and see if we can get a little bit more info, or maybe even some pictures. Wow, look at the old cars too. So that would be it right there. Oh, you can actually see the sign does say City Bakery. And then it changed to the Franz, like you said. But it wasn't the first bakery. There had been some, like, predated 1907, it said.
Yep.
Interesting. God, those are so great, though. I love these pictures. I freaking love you guys down here. This is like, oh, man.
It's a...
Yeah, I absolutely love this place. So I was wrong. It wasn't the first bakery, but it was very close, because it was the first place offered bakery items right on Main Street. But check this out. They have Gresham's first bakery, owned and operated by Miss Elma Johnson in 1903. And it's just a hand-drawn rendition. But yeah, interesting enough, that turned into a Franz bakery, which had a lot of history in Portland as well. And we were like, yep, it was a bakery, so why not keep it a bakery? But I love these old maps. You definitely guys got to come in here and check it out. And they have a ton of history and do such a great job of, you know, preserving and restoring and really capturing Gresham's history and what's happening now in town. So always cool to come in here. Love it. Alright, it's still raining. But that's okay, because we got the trusty umbrella. And I'm going to head back to the Creeper Cave now and have a bite to eat. Yeah, I love seeing all this old Gresham. Okay, 1914. All right, old trusty, old trusty. Yeah, these guys are great, man. They've really come through for me on a lot of really cool videos. Thanks again to Sylvie, you rock. All right, cutting back through Gresham Station shopping. They got all this scaffolding up. It's kind of sketchy walking through here. Probably not the wisest idea. Man, these businesses must not like this at all. Looks like they're open, but doesn't look like anybody's really frequenting down here. Ooh. Due to flooding. Dang, Big Town Hero closed. Probably wouldn't have any luck here anyways with all this scaffolding and tarps. Crazy. That is quite the scaffolding. Yep, old trusty. Keeping us dry. Heading back to the Creeper Cave now because it's just getting too dang wet. In fact, there's supposed to be thunderstorms tonight. There was lightning last night and it's getting pretty windy, so not too long of a video. That's okay because, man, I love history. I never thought doing this channel would really make me fall in love with historical stuff like that. You know, I kind of just started this as a hobby, and as it's evolved, I've gotten more and more in love with old Gresham and just history in general. So thanks again to the good folks at Gresham Historical for keeping the records on all that. So neat to see. All right, we're heading back to the Creeper Cave. I gotta get some lunch. I'm starving.
GreshamOregon, creeps, the Gresham